Miss Combos with Laura Newseth.
Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is Miss Combos with Laura Newseth and I am Laura Newseth. Today you're getting the real Laura and not Chibi Laura, okay? I hope you're not too disappointed. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about my tiering tips because recently I did tier for the Mako World Link. I got up to rank 537, which has been the highest rank I've ever gotten in the Japanese server. And I learned quite a lot about this experience. Like, I've tiered before, but I have never, obviously, like I said, never gotten this high. So I'm going to share with you my average player's guide to tiering in the Japanese server. You can definitely apply these tips to the English server. Just know that the tiering experience in the English server is much more relaxed than in the Japanese server. If you're looking for a guide that goes into detail about ISV, like more technical things, this is not your video. Like, I'm just gonna put it out there. I am not a very technical person in that sense. I know you can calculate your points and all these things. I just don't do that. Let me be plain and simple. I've never done that. So if you want more of ISV and just learning all of that, I will leave you a Twitter thread, which I found very helpful, and maybe I'll apply that next time. But I mean, probably next time I'll tier will be 2025. Like, I'm not planning on tiering at all for the rest of the year. So if you want to see that, here's this very helpful Twitter thread. So I feel like some of the things that people know by now is that you need to use bonus energy when tiering, which is absolutely correct. If you're planning on tiering, definitely hoard any type of bonus energy cans that you get throughout the year. Just keep them, do not use them at all if you're planning on tiering for any event, because they will become extremely useful. Another thing you can do is use 0 bonus energy per round. You can keep stored up to 99 energy in your device, which is really cool, especially now since there are ads that you can take advantage of. Like, you can use the energy, you can get 10 bonus energy every single day if you take advantage of these ads, which definitely do it. Like, go through these every single day, should be part of your routine. In this one, you can get small cans of bonus energy. So if you have the ads available, it should be available to anyone who is not a minor. So if you have these available, definitely do take advantage of them. If you can get to 99 bonus energy, it's going to help a lot, especially once the event begins. If you're playing on the Japanese server, World Link events started at 4 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, Pacific Daylight Savings Time, whatever it is, okay? It starts at 4 a.m. our time in the West Coast. I could not just skip the first hours. There was no option. If you do that, if you just sleep in like you normally would, you're going to miss out, because that's when Japanese players are going hard. Play alongside the Japanese people who are tiering. Wake yourself up at the beginning of the event. Trust me, you do not want to fall behind. I was having some Wi-Fi issues for the first 10 minutes. So I didn't play for the first 10 minutes of this event. I kid you not. Japanese players they had an absurd amount of points. 10 minutes in, think like the Japanese. Wake up if you need to. Drink some coffee as well to just stay awake. And I played from 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. So I was there. That was my first shift. Again, going with you gotta think like Japanese players. If you have a little cushion of bonus energy saved up, use it. This is your time to use 10 bonus energy per round when you're just getting a head start. That's what I did. Let me tell you. Since I was playing catch up, I managed to get up to the rank 500 quite quickly by using 10 bonus energy per round. Maximize the rewards that you can get while tiering. It's no secret that you're going to be playing a lot during this time, and you're going to be ranking up in your account quite quickly. You're going to be getting a lot of charms and gems and all these rewards that you naturally get through co-op. So why not maximize everything that you can get? This is a time where I would highly recommend, at least, this is the very least, get the mission pass. I know it's a little bit trickier to buy stuff in-app when you live outside of Japan, but if you can get a Japanese iTunes gift card, definitely get at least the monthly premium mission pass, because as you can see, I went through the whole thing in the 2 days that I was tiering. You're going to be getting crystals and wish pieces and the outfits, which contribute to the character rank. Now, if you have more resources and don't mind spending a little bit more, look into the Colorful Plus subscription, which I also did, and I normally only do on months that I'm going to be tiering because of the perks that you get. So your max bonus energy goes from 10 to 20. You get a free single pull for the event banner, which is quite nice. You get a free weekly pull as well, which is honestly not the best. I normally just get a 3-star card and that's it. You also get increased event points. You get, 99 autoplays. I think I did go through like 30 a day, maybe a little bit more. Like, you might think you might not use it, but it's actually quite useful when you're tired, when you're cooking, when you're doing other things, and just taking a small break from the screen. So yeah, this was actually quite useful, so I do also recommend it. Also, I do want to give a heads up, if you go to the crystal shop, there is actually a way to buy the event points, not the event tokens, the points, these guys. There are 2 options. Honestly, I've said this on stream before, they're not the best option, because for 100, this is basically what you get when you play at 0 bonus energy. You get around 80 to 90 of these points, so it's just not the best investment. And then for 1,800 yen, you get 1,000, which is much less than just playing, playing a normal round. So I would advise you to save your money. Don't go for these, and instead just go for the mission pass, or just get a Colorful Plus subscription, honestly. So one of the tips that people often mention are like, join a tiering group, join these discords, and we will help each other tier, which, I mean, you can definitely go that route if you want to do that. I don't feel like it's 100% necessary, but maybe that's just my like lone wolf mentality. I happen to be a streamer. Things are a little bit different for me. I can just literally go on stream and people will help me out just by participating in co-op shows. If you're not a streamer, if you're not joining a Discord group to tier, it's not impossible. Every other event that I've tiered on, 2,500, like, it's not impossible. You just have to play a lot of co-op shows, which is even what I do when I stream. I just do co-op shows after co-op shows. That's that's all I do, because you'll get the most points and rewards by going and playing with other people as opposed to doing solo shows. Just do co-ops. Doesn't matter if it's the free room or the veteran room, do co-ops. Most of the time, if you have the veteran room available, you'll see a lot of players that are also tiering. If you see any player choose songs like Melt, Hitorinbo Envy, Martial Maximizer, like either long songs or the very short songs, it's safe to assume that they're also tiering. If you don't want to choose a song, Japanese people, all they do is just go random. Here we have a perfect example of someone who is most likely tiering. This is Hitorinbo Envy. Hitorinbo Envy is like the anthem for tiers. It is the shortest song in the game. So a lot of people do choose to play Hitorinbo Envy whenever they tier. It gets tiring, I'm not gonna lie. Although I have no audio coming from this, I can already hear the song in my head. Like, it is just that ingrained in my head by now from all the times I have tiered in Project Sekai events, both in the English server as well as in the Japanese server as well. If you are curious about what type of rewards you get based on the rank that you end up with, I did just do a video on that. Sometimes, although like it's cool to go up in the ranks, I think a lot of the times I'm just more interested in the rewards that you get, like the crystals as well as the advanced practice score sheets, like things that are not as easily available, well, actually are not available at all unless you tier. So now let's talk about your team, your World Link team, your tiering team. So it all will depend on what type of event is going on. So right now we still have the Virtual Singers World Link event. So here's where you see the bonus. So you see virtual singers and any of these attributes will earn you a bonus. Right now with this team, I have a 448% bonus as well as 393% increased event tokens, which is fantastic. Like this is what you want. I know I'm very loyal to my main and primary deck, which is Vivid Bat Squad with Mako, which is not a bad deck. I mean, I still get like 296 increased like points as well as 240 increased event tokens. This is much lower than this. Like they literally will tell you what will get you the bonuses. So virtual singers, check. These attributes, which is literally every single attribute, check. If they tell you that the bonus is for the happy attribute, like just, you know, follow what they tell you. You can always click on recommended if you want to. You can do the ISV calculations as well if you want to. Definitely make sure you have the team, the appropriate team for whatever event that you're going to be tiering in. That way you can maximize on your points that you'll get per round as well. How much bonus energy you should use per round. So I know I did mention earlier that when you're starting out an event, go hard, like get on top of that like ranking list. Start playing with 10 bonus energy per round. That will work maybe the first hour and a half just to, you know, get a boost. Just boost yourself up in the rankings. But for the remainder of the event, unless you're like stacked in bonus energy cans, clearly I do not have a lot of bonus energy cans. I went through everything that I had in my inventory, and then for the last like few hours, I did have to use some of my crystals and convert that to bonus energy. So yes, it is good for the very beginning of the event to use 10 bonus energy per round, but it's not the most realistic thing unless you have a lot. And when I say a lot, I mean a lot of bonus energy cans saved up or a lot of crystals to convert to bonus energy. 3 to 5 is probably going to be the best. This will sustain your ranking. You will get a slight boost, especially when Japanese players are either at work, sleeping, you know, those times of the day, you'll probably get up in the rankings. For the last 3 or 4 hours before the event officially ends, if you have the resources, if you still have bonus energy or again, crystals to convert to bonus energy, I personally did play at 10 bonus energy per round for the last few hours. Every tier knows that the last few hours of any event, especially in the Japanese server, Japanese players are playing hard. So you can fall down the rank very quickly the last few hours. So if you have the resources available, I would recommend going hard and playing with 10 bonus energy per round. And talking about prepping for any type of tiering, don't overdo it with gameplay 2 to 3 days before the event begins. Yes, you can play. I would recommend you still play. If you're gem farming or just, you know, want to get your fingers acclimated to playing for a little bit longer than you normally do, don't push yourself too hard because it's not worth it to start playing 16-hour days before the event even begins. By the time you get to the event, you're going to be both physically and mentally exhausted. So just like an athlete, you do really have to think of yourself like a Project Sekai athlete in this case. Just don't overdo it. Train, warm up. Think about it as your warm-up before the actual event. You have to switch the way you think about playing Project Sekai. I feel like a lot of us play and kind of think about it more like short-term goals. Maybe it is to full combo a song, AP a song. Like those are very short-term. I mean, most songs are between 2 to 3 minutes. But when it comes to tiering, you gotta think about like gameplay for a week. When it comes to the World Link specifically, you're thinking about playing consistently for 2 days. You almost have to think about Project Sekai as an endurance player because boy, it does take a physical and mental toll on you to just be looking at the screen for an excessive amount of time. Actually, let me pull up my screen time, that way I can let you know how much I was playing Project Sekai during the World Link tierings. Wednesday and Thursday being the days that I played the most, which completely makes sense. Those were the 2 days that I was tiering. On Wednesday, I played a total of 16 hours. 16. So yeah, you have to play a lot. For those of you who are students, are working full-time, this amount of screen time may not be realistic for you. It is realistic for me at the moment because I'm in between jobs. So I'm focusing on content creation and I reserved those 2 days for mainly streaming. So knowing what my life is like at the moment, I was able to dedicate that time to tiering. But as I said, if you're a student, if you work full-time, this might not be as realistic. Like, definitely take care of yourself, make sure you sleep, make sure you eat. And talking about that, I feel like a lot of people skip on both when they're tiering. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Please take a break. I cannot emphasize that enough. Please take a nap. I was mainly doing a lot of naps during my tiering time. Yes, I did go to sleep at the end of the day, but I would just make my sleeping time shorter. That way I could wake up and play for a little bit, nap, stream, nap, play. A lot of that. Don't forget to eat as well. I cannot emphasize that too. I feel like I kept seeing people hop on my streams and telling me like, oh, I'm hungry, but I gotta play. I gotta play. Take a break. Get yourself something to eat. Get yourself a snack. Eat proper meals, please do that. This is your time to do the auto plays if you have them available. Get yourself a nice rest, play Melt all that time, just autoplay Melt as much as you can. It will save not only your hands, but also your sanity as well. And talking about taking care of your physical body, if you have joint pain, if you have excessive joint pain, please take a break. Or get a compression glove or something, but don't overdo it, because I feel like a lot of people just like don't care and they are so focused on getting a higher rank that they just don't care about their physical health. For myself specifically, I know that I deal with some joint pain. I also have hypermobile fingers that tend to lock up and just, get painful after a while. So that's why when you see me stream, I make sure to take care of my hands and my joints. You see me use these guys a lot, which are just finger splinters, which prevent my fingers to not bend unnaturally. So I tend to use these guys. For any like wrist pain, I tend to use like compression gloves and just wrist guards and anything that will keep this tight and supported. Also at the end of the night, another thing that I would do, I would use like a biofreeze or anything to just help with the pain and soothe the muscles. I think that's pretty much it. I did go into this World Link event with a much different mindset. I knew I was going to be playing the most that I could, but I've learned from my past mistakes of not sleeping well and then falling asleep as the event is ending, which it's so sad, like waking up and then seeing how much you fell if you fall asleep before the event concludes. You fall down a lot. So don't do that. The tips that I shared in this video are definitely tips that I'm going to be applying next time that I tier in the English server. It should be for Toya's Focus event in March, the Blender event. And I know these tips will get me much further in the English server, where it is competitive, but it's just very different tiering in the English server as opposed to the Japanese server. So if you get in the top 2,000, top 5,000 in the Japanese server, honestly, give yourself a pat on the back, because it is very challenging to get that high in the Japanese server. So don't discourage yourself. You'll get much higher next time. Just keep trying, but also don't neglect your mental and physical health. So if you have any questions about tiering, please let me know in the comments. Like I said, I will be linking the ISV Twitter thread if you want more information about that. I will also be linking another video that I made about the event rankings and rewards as well. So if you want to take a look at that video, you definitely can. If you have any other video suggestions for this channel, please let me know in the comments, and I will be seeing you guys very soon in my next video. Toyaban wanted to say bye too, so bye everyone! See you later!